just as like an icebreaker, I would love if you could describe Gucci Mula in a few
Mm.
words, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, for sure. All right, so yeah, my name is Ralph Norman, but my friends call me Gucci Mula. I'm from Yonkers, New York. I'm a quadriplegic C2, C4 injury. June 27th of 2010, 14 years ago, I was struck with a bullet that hit my neck and caused me to be paralyzed. Hanging out with my friends in the car, and gunshots rang out, and a bullet struck me in my neck. We were just going out to eat, have fun, and I got hit with a straight bullet that well, left me paralyzed for right now. And it's been tough in the beginning, but I mean, I made it through. I mean, life is pretty much better. I did actually 5 years in a nursing home, so I'm home now.
Hmm.
It's going to be 9 years. I'll be home in October, but I did 5 years in a nursing facility, so I know how the nursing facility actually is. So
Hmm.
like all the things you're saying to me, I'm like, wow, like I wasn't abused myself, but I was seeing, how they would mistreat people that weren't fortunate to have family, or that just if nobody came around, or if they were like in a vegetative state, or they wasn't, they weren't all the way there, just the way they would treat others. And thank God I was alert. Even though I'm a quad, but I was able to direct my care on what to do or what not to do. And then I was very respectful. So when you give respect, you get respect. And that's how. And then I was 17. I'm 31 now. So
Hmm.
I was basically a child, the only one in there, the youngest one in there that was, had my type of injury. So they kind of had sympathy for me, and they took
Hmm.
me in as their child. So that's where the good thing came in for that. But after 5 years, people coming in to work with their attitudes, or they don't really want to be to work, and they're taking the frustration out on you, which is life, everyday life. People do that all
Hmm.
around. But I just knew how to like diffuse the anger. You know what I mean? I already like, well, okay, she's having attitude, because if you fight and I fight, it doesn't match. So someone has to be the big person there, and I had to be me, which shouldn't have to be. So I just had to, being like this was it's a lot of biting your tongue, things that you don't you may want to say something, but then you're like, you this is gonna cause some type of problem or something. So I try to stay away from meshing with anybody or fighting with him, because it's only gonna make me angry. And it's not like I can walk away. Before being on my feet, I could walk away. So
Hmm.
prior to me being hurt, I was an athlete, played football, played basketball. I was on the high school football team. I'm a big guy, but I was very athletic. I was very fast, and yeah, it was the last day of school, and one of my old friends, he graduated, and I said,
Hmm.
"Hey, we're gonna go out to eat." And I had a vehicle, and gunshots rang out while after getting gas, and the bullet struck me in my neck. So 14 years in now, about I say 7 years ago, I was like in my bed, and I'm like, I wish I could play video games.
Hmm.
And I like, damn, I just wish they come out with some technology where I can just control the game with my mind. And a nurse told me, hey, why don't you Google something? And I said, Google. I wasn't used to Googling this. Now you can Google anything, and it's going to teach you or tell you where to get it. So I Googled it, and I found this device that's in front of me, the quad stick, and it's been history. I bought it immediately. And so I was like, I didn't care the price. I said it was like all I had too. I had like $1,000, and I spent it all on it, and I've been gaming ever since. Which made
Wow.
gaming has just like changed my life. I used to game before, but I have never been this into gaming, before. Like I will game for hours, and I'll forget to eat, and I'm about to pass out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so gaming is very therapeutic for me.
Hmm.
Awesome to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically about my story. So, I game, and now I'm a part-time peer mentor. I help people that got injured due to gunshot violence. So they have spinal cord injury due to gunshot violence, and I do that every day. And I just talk to people, try to help them go through it, and I just basically grew a family with these people that I talk to every day because a lot of people are in the house, like Roger was. They probably don't, and they don't have no one to talk to, relate to, and they think that they're only one that's like this, and it's a whole community of us. So I just, I was always I help a prior to injury. I'll give you the shirt off my back. So it's
Hmm.
nothing to me for me to help people now. It's like Ray, I don't even worry about my injury anymore. I'm worried about somebody else. When I hear somebody else get hurt or going through something, it hurts my soul. So I try to help people the best that I can. Even me, being quad, just only can move my neck, but my words, or if I can, you know, did something to you or some supplies or something, like I
Mm.
try to help the best of my ability. That's
Wow.
just me.
Wonderful.
That's incredible, man. How did you become involved with the United Spinal Association? You're a co-lead for their peer support group, right?
It's through Rochester Spinal Association. It's like under United Spinal. It's like just like a section. It's like upstate New York. I'm
Yeah.
not from up Rochester, but so how it happened, every year they have this tour that goes around each state. It's called the Abilities Expo. I don't know if you guys heard of it. They go around to each state, and the Abilities Expo is basically like a Comic Con for like wheelchair people, and it's people like, so it's like just for the wheelchair, people that's in wheelchair disabilities, and people that's walking are like the aliens. Just like, whoa, what are you doing on your 2 feet? Like, you're not in one of these. That's how many wheelchairs are in this one place. So
Wow.
yeah, so they put you up on all the new, ability things, new wheelchairs, every all the latest new updated gear and technology. So I stopped at the United Spinal booth, and the lady that was there, she said, what do you do with your life? What do you do? And I'm like, nothing, just game and just watch TV. And she said, you don't do no peer support or anything. And I said, no, not really. Just never found anyone to talk to. She said, oh, are you willing? I said, yeah, I'm willing to talk to anybody. So
Hmm.
he told me that there was a New York City chapter, which is closer to me, to one in Rochester. And I said, oh, yeah, give me the info. I go to both. The person from Rochester, the executive director, he contacted me, and I was going to his bi-weekly meetings. And he asked me to, hey, if you mind running a new group I'm trying to do nationwide. And I said, yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I've been doing that 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years going on three. Yeah. So yeah, it's been history ever since.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
A great opportunity.
hmm
Do you mind sharing like a roughly around the time when you got a quad stick?
It was, I believe, like October of, I came from 2015, so 2017,
Hmm.
October like 2017. Yeah. So yeah, it's about 7 years.
What was it like adjusting to gaming on a quad stick? I mean, getting used to the sensitivity of it and all the different bindings.
And it was kind of, very difficult in the beginning. I didn't know what to do. I would watch videos. I'm like, oh, and then I had to find out you have to make grips, and I was like, what the hell? It's like, you know. Anyway, it was like some type of rocket science. I didn't know what to do. They were like, get like the person I guess that makes it, Fred Davison. He was like, oh yeah, you can watch videos, and I'm like, videos? I paid all this money, teach me how to do it, and then I hit up this guy, Stevie Biscuit, and me and him were like do little phone calls, and I would watch him how he made the script. He would like take over my computer, and I'm like, okay. And all I need to see is you do it like one or two times. I'm like a visual learner, and
Hmm.
I've been teaching people ever since. Like now, I kind of mastered. I don't think I got it 100%, but I would say probably I'm there like 90%. There's always
Oh,
something you can learn. You're always still learning because he's updating and there's more and more things coming out. Yeah, I kind of damn near mastered it. Like I taught a lot of people, and people like the way that I game and they like my profiles, how I make things. So
watching your gameplay, man, you're killing it.
yeah, yeah,
You're better
bro.
than
I
me, man.
try. I'm just starting to use, like, I'm just starting to play PC games. I'm a PlayStation user, but I'm trying to get into the PC world.
Oh, awesome. A lot of games. Too many games.
Yeah, like at first I'm like my first game I played, my very first game I played of the classic was The Last of Us. And I didn't know how to run and jump and all that same time. So I'm playing it on the regular default mode that it comes with. I just know I can move. And my
Mm.
cheeks were like so sore from puffing and it was just too much. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. And I didn't know there was a thing called toggle where you just hit the button and it just does its own thing. It just automatically starts walking. So I was like, whoa, like life changer. So I beat that whole game
Mhm.
without shooting a gun without doing anything because I didn't know how to aim and shoot at the same time. I beat that whole game without using any, didn't shoot not one time. And until the very last mission of the game, Steamy came in, he showed me how to walk. And I'm like, what? This is like life changing. So but when I really learned it and I was like I look at other people's spreadsheets and I'm like, oh, this is too complicated for me. But I made it where it was like not too difficult, where if I share with anybody, they can learn it one, two, three. It was like it didn't take that long. Now I can make spreadsheets in probably 10 minutes, because I follow off the same one I use and then I just kind of tweak it up to the game that like if there's a different button for something. But yeah, it didn't I'd say I would really like kind of like so I could play, I didn't have no problems. It probably took me less than a month though to learn the outputs and the functions.
Wow. Are there any other specific technologies that have been essential to you maintaining your independence besides the quad stick?
I mean, in the beginning, the very first thing I had, I saw it on TV, and I told my parents to buy it for me. Was the Dragon, naturally speaking,
Mm-hmm.
device? Yeah, and I bought that. But as we know, with that voice command, you can say eh, "turn off mic" or do something, and it starts doing something outrageous, and then I'm like, "What? I didn't say this," and then it just like gets a headache, and it's like then with the Dragon, it doesn't hear you properly so many times the mic would turn off. So now I was in a nursing facility. So you calling for help or a nurse, they're not coming right then and there. So you have to wait and wait and wait and wait. And then they finally come and then you turn it back on. But then you forgot what you wanted to do. So it was just rough. But the Dragon was the first thing I had. And I was using it with the classic until I found out that I could use the plastic as a mouse. So I didn't really have to really. I thought it was just strictly for gaming, and then I was like, oh no, you can type and everything with it. So it's like, yeah, I don't use anything else now but the quad stick.
Hmm. It's so cool that you mentioned Steamy Biscuit because we just recently interviewed Elenial Wheeler. I don't know if you've heard that name
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah. I watched him. I follow him on Twitch. Yeah, I watched you guys with him yes, 2 days ago, something like that, right? Yeah,
He is such a cool guy, and
yeah, yeah, for sure.
he also introduced us to Steamy Biscuit. I think
Yeah,
Steamy is
Steamy's the goat. Yeah, he's the goat for sure. Yeah, I
we
mean, we have Rocky No Hands that's killing it with other stuff, but in my book, Steamy is like the goat. He's like Ray. Like he won't say it, but he's helped damn near this whole watch the community.
What made you interested in becoming a live streamer? And where did the name Gucci Mula originate from, if you don't mind sharing that?
I mean, like I was just gaming, and then like on the PlayStation, it had an option for like Twitch. I didn't even know what Twitch was.
Hmm.
I do YouTube. I was just streaming on YouTube, and I didn't even think of it. It was like horrible in the beginning. I'm just streaming. I'm in the bed, and I'm just like, I would play from my bed till I got like a table to put my stuff on, and I'm just gaming, not even thinking of. I'm like eating. I'm like gaming. I have my nurse in the middle. I'm not even thinking people are watching me. And then I started and then I really started taking like serious. I'm like, oh, people have like overlays and these alerts popping up. I'm like, oh, what the heck? Where do you get this from? So then I wound up Googling and YouTubing everything. And I was like, oh, you have to have all this like artwork done. And people like, oh, don't spend so much money on, avatars. And I'm like, but I wanted to have a nice setup. So but I just like, it was just like fun. I'd have a community, people talking to me as I see me game and I'm talking back. And it would just, I don't know who they are, but it just, and then we like wind up linking up or send me a Discord or send me an email. And it would just, we just build a friendship from there, you know what I mean? And but Gucci just was a name that I had before I got hurt. That's what they used to call me like before I got hurt, my friends. So I just like took it with me. I didn't know what other name to use. Like now I think of other names. I'm like, oh, I can switch my name up, but I had this name for so long,
Yeah.
So it's like, why switch it up now? But yeah, it was just like, I that's what I used to wear before I got hurt. That's like so Gucci comes from that, and then as a young kid, I who likes Moolah means money, and I it's like money, and people would just call me that, and I'm like, okay, all right, and then I don't know. I just came from Ralph, and they just started calling me that I guess, because the way I was dressing up, and then I just stuck, and I just kept it with me ever since. But yeah, I mean, so I just put it on the stream, and that's what the community knows me by now.
Wow.
Cool.
Would you mind sharing a little bit of insight into your process for creating content for your audience? What goes into your game selection and where you post it?
So I'm willing to try anything, and especially if someone like suggests it to me. I don't mind play. I'll play any game. I like them all. I like with the classic. I've now beat about 82 games
Oh,
for these 70. Yeah, and most of the games I play is like campaign story mode games. Like my favorite game is Assassin's Creed. I love that game.
oh
I
man, those
didn't
are
beat all
great.
of them. Yeah, I beat all of them. I beat the first two before injury. And the rest I beat all with the quad stick. So, and I like to play in order. So I won't play like say I don't know. I won't play the newest Assassin's Creed if I didn't beat the one prior to it. So I like to play them all. You know what I mean? And then like it was like it was 7 years without me. No, it was 5 years without me playing a video game. So I was going back. I was like, well, I want to play this game and that game and that game. So I like it's like for instance like GTA 5. I didn't. That game was like maybe 4 years old before I was able to play it. But you're playing that old game. I'm like, man, I didn't play it. I missed out on it. So yeah. But it just whatever is new and I hear like trending, if it's good, I'll buy it and I'll play it for sure. And I try. I make clips all the time. I'm just horrible at going back to edit it, but like on certain platforms, like I'll stream for like forever, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, but then going back to make the clips that put it on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. It just, but I clip all through my stream. It's just that it's just like, oh gosh, do I really want to go back and clip? And then I'm so trying to finish the game that I don't have time to go back and clip, But it's just basically whatever's trending, I'm going to play it. And then I try to look to play something with friends, and especially if they're saying it's something good, and it just whatever the people want, I'll definitely play. I'm down for whatever.
Based on your experience, what games have offered the most accessible experience for the quad stick users, and what accessibility features do you find most useful?
For me, definitely toggle. So I'm not consistently able to classic comes with it. I mean, thank God for that. But if they have a toggle function, or if they have like certain like certain buttons are not you can't use with the classic, and you're able to switch it. So like say like I remember Spider-Man, the latest one, on the previous one before that. I wasn't able to touch the actual touchpad like on the PlayStation remote, so I was able to like switch the touchpad to like the D-pad. So when they give you
Mm.
the option to switch out functions like that, that is cool. Just like the game speed, or basically if I can switch the functions for sure. If I'm able to switch functions, because sometimes it may be they want you to press three buttons at the same time, and I can't do that. So it's like if I could sum it up and make it one button, that helps it out a lot. Basically that's all I really need in a game.
Mm.
If I'm able to switch the functions, that helps out totally, like so much.
Thank you for sharing.
Great.
Yeah.
Good to know. Do you have any tips for any fellow streamers who also rely on assistive technology? Something like quad stick?
When it comes to like, see if you can find a community with the quad sticks. We have the Discord. We have Google like Google groups where we have the groups. And you're able to talk. Everybody's sharing information. If you have a community that's sharing the same device, that helps. Try to like get in those groups and talk to people that are using the same technology, and that helps out a lot because they may be going through the same thing, or they probably went through it and they're able to help you out. And basically, you have to find your community. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
I say when I live at home and I have nursing, but they don't know how to use this technology too. So me asking them like, hey, what do I do? And they're gonna be like, what? I don't know. So especially if you're not a gamer. So basically find a community and thank God with the Quastic person that makes it, he's very you can reach out to him anytime. He's always willing to help. And we basically have a community, people that had it longer than me, people that had it shorter than me, but we often been stopped at a problem and are willing to help. You know what I mean? But it's like you may have some people that like are quite slow at learning. So like me, I'm willing to take my time and I'm so dedicated. I want everyone to play. I want everybody to have the chance to play. So if it
Mm,
takes 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, I'm gonna make sure I get it done because I'm like they're like a lot of people give up. Oh man, I give up. I'm tired of it, and it's okay. And then they feel like they're doing like painting me where they're like, oh man, he just taking up his time trying to help me. But like I'm willing to help anybody because I know gaming is so therapeutic. It takes your
mm.
mind off depression. It puts your mind, you put you in a whole another world. So definitely find yourself a community for sure. YouTube videos. There's a lot of YouTube videos. Too. Definitely. It's not like you talking to somebody and trying to get a one-on-one. You know, feel like to figure things out.
Are there any life lessons, besides just treating depression and anxiety that gaming has taught you?
Any life lessons. I've been through a lot. It's not over until it's over. So don't give up on yourself. If you're still here, it's for a reason, and you still have if you have breath in you and your mind is there, you can achieve anything. You know what I mean? Don't give yourself any limitations. I would say. You know. I like people look at me as a quadriplegic, and they will be like, "Hey, look at him." Life ain't that bad. You know what I mean? If he's moving, and I don't mind people look at me as like as something to look to that they can see that they can do better. Like, oh, look at him. So if I can be a role model to you to push you forward, that's what it is. So like when I game, and I achieve, and I beat certain games, and I'm like, it was so tough, and I'm like, my perseverance has pushed me through it. I just, like life ain't over until it's over, and we're still here for a reason. And
Mm.
that's what I can get out to it.
Going back to my previous question that I asked, is there any advice you'd like to share with game developers about the importance of inclusive design?
Well, like, hey, like with PlayStation, we're always trying to like. I'm a PlayStation guy, so they're always trying to like they're always blocking things, and if they can like make things more feasible, they like when they think about like people for like disability or they think about accessibility, they don't think about higher ups like me myself as a quad. So like they came out with some technology, but you still have to use your hands, and I'm like, that's not going to help me. So I'm like, they can do their research and find out there's like people that's higher level up, like so for like this quad stick, if they can like I can't just plug the quad stick in a PlayStation and play it. I have to use buy all these other devices just to like basically jailbreak it to play the PlayStation. That is like, and if they can, know that it's not just someone that's colorblind that can't, or it's not somebody that just has like trouble with their hands, and but they're able to still using him. But there's people that can't use their hand at all and play by mouth. So if they can like do their more research and find out like there's way more disability options that they need to start adding into their games. You know, um, yeah, I just would tell them like reach out to this community. We're not hidden. They can find us easily.
I don't know, yeah, I've heard some of the horror stories about that with like users even being banned and stuff because they plugged in like the wrong thing or like locked
Yeah,
up
yeah,
their
for sure.
PlayStation
Yeah,
4, like awful
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, it's
yeah. I mean, you
horrible.
have like Titan twos and Cronus Zens. People use that to cheat. Like I mean, I'm using it just so I can override to play the game, and then you buy them these things. They're not cheap, and then they block it, and it's like what? I just wasted my money, and it's like I'm not rich here to be wasting money. I bought
Mm.
this the Cronus in, and then a week later it blocked on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm trying to play the PlayStation 5.
Oh man.
Yeah, it just it's tough. Now we have something called the P5 Mate, and that's just like a plug and play, and that's pretty awesome. I like it a lot. I just had helped somebody the other day. They was like, "How do I play PlayStation 5?" And I just told them about this, and hopefully this is the last thing. You don't have to. I don't have to buy any more devices. But yeah, they can just do their research, and we're not hidden. There's so many communities out there that they can reach out, and we'll definitely can talk to them and set up Zooms like this and Discord meetings, and they can take our advice. I think they're slowly but surely working on it, but there's so much more they can do.
From your point of view, what impact have you had on your viewers, and what ways do you aspire and connect to your community?
So I guess they see me playing with my mouth. You know, like whoa, like how the heck are you doing this? You know what I mean? So when they see us quad stick users doing this, and they're like, what? No, I had someone like thinking like, nah, he had somebody in the background playing the game for him. I'm like, no, I made my camera wide and everything. I'm like, no, it's just me. I'm not playing, it's just me. Now they have like little options where you can put like the controller on the screen and it'll watch you play. Like whatever function you press, it'll
Oh
pop up.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But when they see me playing with my mouth and they see me, and I play on hard mode. I'm not playing on the easiest mode. I'm playing on the hardest one.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the heck? You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm dominating. So and then just for them to see me do that, they come back and they watch me. Shout out to everybody who's the classic, because we're overachieving things that people would doubt us for even playing. They think, oh, he can't beat me. He can't beat me. He can't beat this game, and we're doing this thing.
Hmm.
I don't like to brag, but I'm like, I feel so good. I did this so easy. It's like I feel so good. Like I'm like, woo, like it's awesome. So when they see me doing this, it's inspiring others. Some people don't even play games; they just come in to watch. You're like, wow, look at this kid playing with his mouth, and really beating these games. I'm like over 80 games in with the quasi, and just campaign games alone, story main, and the hardest difficulty. I'm not playing on nothing easy, so it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been like one or two games where I had to like, oh no, this is hard. I have to bring the difficulty down. They just see us doing it. I'm just trying to show people that inspire the world, letting people know that gaming is like help me change, like help me for the better. With my depression, I'm not depressed anymore through gaming. I'm happy. If I can do it, you can do it. Basically, that's what I just want to show people.
Awesome.
How have you collaborated with other content creators or just friends maybe on your channel? I've seen you play with people before. Um,
Like I met a few people when I on through Twitch and YouTube, and then we become friends. Like on Discord, and we really get to know each other. And they're like telling me about new games, and I'm like, okay, we can play this. And I'm like, I'm down to play. So like, just playing this other game, this E2, basically about a game that is like trying to find out who's a liar, who's infected. Don't we know it's a bunch of us, and someone's telling the truth, someone's not. It comes like a very fun game, and I had never met this person and until we started playing, on Twitch, and we just started like streaming together, making clips together, and he'll post it on his TikTok or whatever, and I'll post it on mine, and he shows me how he makes his clips, and gives me little details of how to make content, and so it's basically like found like Twitch family, a gaming family, to basically like, hey, I'm playing Fortnite. I never played Fortnite as long as it's been out until like last month. And he's like, no, man, you got to try it. I'm telling you. But I'm like, I'm
Oh
not
man.
building, and I'm not gonna build this building crap. And I thought that would be difficult for the quad stick to jump and build. I'm like, oh no, that's too childish for me. I can't do that. I want something a little bit more realistic. And he's like, no, trust me. They don't have to build no more. You can play. And I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, oh man, anytime you play Fortnite, let's play together. And I'm gonna stream it. And so yeah, it's pretty fun. So that's how it goes.
Earlier you had said, can I play a video game with my brain when you were talking about being in the facility? I was wondering where you might potentially imagine or see the future of gaming for individuals with disabilities and whether or not you hope to contribute to that future.
Like so, like for instance, what Elon Musk is coming with Neuralink. I was like, sheesh. Someone's like I don't know who, if it's him or someone like to play with the mind. But then I'm like, once I see the procedure, I'm like, do I really want to put something in my skull? You know what I mean? I really
Yeah.
want to go through that. And I'm like, I'm glad someone had the balls to like go first and do it because I wouldn't been me. But I mean, hopefully if it lasted and it does well, I mean, I don't mind being next or whatever. But yeah, that is like I'm happy that that is like a step going forward that he's thought of quadriplegics.
Mm.
And I think it's like it's the ALS people too, and there's a few other. It's not just like spinal injuries, but it's like higher up. So, but I'm like, someone's listening. Yeah, I definitely would like if I don't know about going through a procedure if they had like some type of like VR headset or something that goes on top of your head because I bought the PlayStation VR and I thought and then I didn't really do my research. Sheesh, I can't use it because I have to hold two sticks. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, but yeah, if they, I mean, I think it's going in the right direction. It's just gonna take more time. And when you spoke about 2030 earlier, I'm like, maybe that's what is gonna happen. Maybe 2030 or a little further than that. Yeah, I'm willing to try. I don't know about the procedure thing and the skull yet, but I'm definitely willing to try something. If like if they, I would have to see it before trying anything.
Mhm.
Just yeah, I'm not gonna be the test dummy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Aside from gaming and streaming, what other hobbies and activities do you enjoy?
I mean, I definitely like to go out and like watch movies and I hang out with my friends. But other than that, I'm just like a more like TV show movie guy. If I'm not doing my peer sport, which
Mm.
that's kind of like even though it's like a daily thing, but it's like at a certain time, even though like it's supposed 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. But we're on this thing like they're on right now. Stay on this 9 o'clock. Supposed to have been in, we'll be on into 2, 3, 4 in the morning, just hanging out, chilling. And but yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like. I haven't like even though I'm 14 years in, I haven't really like really got into so much. I went to New Hampshire the other day and went to go see a friend. But I really don't do too much besides that. My main focus like I'm more of a helper. I'm more like helping people. So and I guess that became like a hobby. I really like I met someone. He's in a nursing home. He's been in the nursing home 2 years, and I check up on that person like if not like a couple times a week, just to be there with him because they're there by he's there by himself, and I just that's basically my thing. I'm trying to do more outreach and I
Mm.
just put all my focus into that. If it's not gaming is just basically like some me time, when I'm streaming, but like I mainly put more of my time into trying to help others. That's basically became my life.
Wow.
So, are there any genres of music or movies you find most appealing? Like, what do you watch? You know,
It's just movies and TV shows are just like
just
gaming.
anything?
I would try anything. I watch so many shows. I kind of stayed away from Netflix because it's too much stuff on Netflix. It's like you'll be there forever trying to find what you want to watch. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I pretty much watch anything horror, anything. And if it's good, I'm watching it. I'm watching currently the new Game of Thrones, the prequel to it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm watching that. House of Dragons or something like that, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm watching that. Music, I like rap. I like listen to R&B. Anything, anything with a good vibe. I'm here for the vibes. That's what it is. All about a good vibe. It doesn't matter what it is. I just was listening to I found myself into country. The guy Shabuzi, he has a nice hit song. Tipsy, that is like a great catchy song. So
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm just anything with a good vibe. I'm here for it.
The Drug Dealer Simulator 2 music was pretty fire. We talked about that while
Yeah,
you were
yeah, yeah,
streaming.
yeah, yeah. That there too. Yeah, that's so catchy. Like I could sit in one spot and listen to that like for hours. I'm like, man, go ahead with this game. And I'm like, when you stream, now you have to put everything like streamer mode, but it's still coming through. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad I can still listen to it. So it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm down to listen. Someone says it looks. So what was it? There's another song, $1 Million Baby. Forgot the guy's name. This song just came out like think a month or two ago, $1 Million Baby. I don't forget the
Yeah.
guy's name, but yeah, that's it. Anything with a good vibe, man, I'm here for.
You said, you were a helper even before your injury, but I'm curious, how has being involved with peer support groups or going to conventions like the Disability Expo perspective on how essential community can be when you're in your kind of position?
Yeah, like so, like I was always very independent as well, very independent. So like being a quad, where now you are totally independent. Now you need people. It's like sheesh, you
Hmm.
know. But thank God, like I live at home and I have like 24-hour nursing, so it kind of works. It works out. I mean, I have good people, so it helps out a lot. But I was like I said, I'm independent, so I was like, "Nah, I don't need no help. I'm good. I can make it without talking to somebody, even though if someone came by, I wouldn't deny the conversation, but I definitely was like, oh, I'm good. Especially I had my game, and I wasn't really like I was zoned out with that. But when I started attending these groups, and then went from one group to another group to another group, and it was just like very fun. It's not even that you want. It's not like it's not a counseling. It's just basically you're just talking amongst friends, and you gain new friends, genuine friends that are there for you and they understand you. You can talk about anything about, that you wouldn't talk with your family or your friends prior to injury. You're not going to talk about caffeine and bowel routine. And I'm like, what? Ew, yuck. I don't want to talk about that. So it's like you can talk to anybody in this community about anything. And so like in some groups besides my group that I attend weekly, 2 times, 3 times a week. And we're just looking to talk to each other. And it's like not the groups are not even enough. Now we want to meet up with each other, we want to hang, so it's like, go to events, go to movies and go to events like coming up in 2 weeks. I'm going to the Yankees game. We're gonna go hang out. So it's like it's more you find yourself someone who's relatable and if you gain friends, but it's more like family as well. So
Hmm.
and it's a good family, not annoying family, not aggravated family. It's like people that are there for you, like you like you just sit there and you could talk to, and it's I'll tell anybody like even with my group I host every day and mine's I'm like, oh, it's not therapy. Don't worry about us counseling you. You're not talking to no psychiatrist. You're meeting right genuine people that are for you, that what you're going through. And once they join, they come back every day, and they're just there. They're looking for it. I met some lady. She's in the UK. My this thing is nationwide, but we'll take whatever. And she's in the UK. She doesn't have no one to talk to. She's sitting in the house all day by herself. Doesn't have no community. She doesn't. She's been in the house 2 years. Haven't left the house. And then in the UK, they don't have what we have in the US. In some parts of the US, in certain states, don't even have. It's hard to get certain things. I'm fortunate to live in New York where it's so many spinal cord injuries or people with disabilities. That's you can get things so easily. But someone that's in like a rural area, they're not gonna get those things. So she's in the
Hmm.
UK, and we're just giving her information. She's learning, and it's like it's basically. I don't look at these peers. These peer support is more come like family, and it's just that's what I call it, family. I'm going to be with my family. I'm going to be with my we call it will family. Our will family. Now that's what we call it. That's what we call it. So
Wow.
anybody that's looking for some help, reach out to me. Don't be shy. I'm willing to answer any questions if I can help. Lead you in the right direction. That's me.
Man, you're so awesome.
Appreciate it.
What has been the most significant change in your perspective on life, just in general, but also with the disability since joining and helping lead that peer support group?
I think in the like before injury, I took life for granted. I didn't think I just was like, going about each day and
Hmm.
think about how much how precious life is. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I didn't take it for granted. Now every day, I thank God. I think, I wake up in the morning and I try to teach people that especially that's newly injured. I talked to some person just yesterday, they're mad at the world, they don't want to live. And I'm like, hey, you're here, you know, just take it one day at a time. Don't rush this thing. But
Mm,
that's all we can do. Everybody can do it one day at a time. No one can jump the future. No one can go into the past. You just have to build the cards that you played. Just try to take it easy on yourself,
mm,
and you know, one day at a time. I try to meditate and besides gaming too, to focus, to help me without and like first thing I wake up in the morning, I think that I'm here, and then I try to do a little breathing exercise, meditation, and then I go on with my day because and don't get it wrong. There's some ups and some downs, but that's for people that's walking, that's people that's everybody. So just have to take it, life one day at a time. Take it
mm.
easy on yourself. Don't take it too rough, and just know that one day things will get better. Not every day is gonna be all peaches, but you will have some great days. You'll have some bad days, but you knew that before. So before you got hurt, so it just and I try to I just tell everybody that I meet, especially have a spinal cord injury or some type of disability, that you're here for a reason, and you'll see that reason one day. I found out my reason was to mentor other people and help others, and I love it. I'm proud to say that and they see me comfortable in my skin, as a quad. And I tell people like, I love myself, and you should love yourself as well. It's it's rough in the beginning, but definitely gets easier. I think I answered your question, right? Or did I something I
Most
missed?
definitely, man. Your
Yeah.
outlook is so
Uh-huh.
contagious. Just your attitude towards everything is so inspiring, and I really appreciate your insight here.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What advice would you give to someone hesitant about joining a peer support group?
I'll tell them to do it. For sure, you should do it. Join these groups. Join these groups. Especially in the beginning. You may not know everything. I mean, you might want to shut out the world. Hopefully, like me, I kind of took it as it is. I'm like, oh, I'm not moving. What? It was kind of confusing. But I'm all right. You had no time to cry. I had to suck it up. But not everybody's going to be as strong as I was. So, but I would tell people, join these groups, get to know your community, get to know yourself. Your, then not even like you having to be having a spinal cord injury. When you have some type of, alcohol problem or drug problem, join those spiritual groups. Get yourself, healed, get yourself back. Peer support is very therapeutic, very helpful. It's not what you see on TV. It's not a counselor. It's not like when I first got hurt, they sent psychiatrists in my room, in a nursing home. And it was like, do you know the day? Do you know the time? Do you know who the president is? And I'm like, no, 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 you don't want that. You want to talk to people that are relatable, that you can feel comfortable talking to. Yeah. And there's people there's multiple peer support groups that they're out there that's for you. So I would tell people join. Don't
Hmm.
hesitate. It'll do you good in the long run.
With respect to the privacy and the dignity of your peer support group, can you tell us about a particular moment or conversation within the group that deeply resonated with you or others in that group?
Yeah, well, so wow, so many.
Mm,
I tell people when I meet them and I tell them to join, it's a safe place. You don't have to worry about anything. You can say whatever. You can say you don't even have to put your camera on. You just talk. You can listen. But there's like she's like there was a person like for me, for instance, I wasn't telling people that I got shot until maybe 3 years ago now. Before, yeah,
mm,
3.5 years ago to me, and I'm like, hey, I didn't shoot myself. I wasn't, because being a black man and then hearing gunshot, they think about gang, and it was like very embarrassing. And I was told that in a hospital one time. Were you in a gang? And I'm like, what? It shocked me, and I never want to tell anybody about my injury again. So me meeting people, and I'm like, hey, you don't have to be embarrassed of what happened to you. So I know multiple females, but I'll give you just one. He was in her house. He got shot by her ex-boyfriend in front of her kids,
Whoa.
and became and now she's paralyzed from the waist down. You know, she was very shy at first. She didn't really like people. Like you hear from her, I don't like people. I don't. But now she's open, and yeah, but she was embarrassed to say what happened to her, and I was like, hey, listen, you don't really have to. You didn't shoot yourself. You didn't do this to yourself. You know, you had an idiot ex that was just too much, and he shot you because of his stupidity. Now she's single mother taking care of her kids, and she works. And she's about what 4 years in now, and yeah, and she's inspiring others to to let know people life is not over now. Life is not over, and yeah, and she it's multiple people. Another a guy. He was in his house. He was doing some construction work. Bullet shot through the window. He was paralyzed. He didn't want to, he didn't want to tell nobody he was shot. He was very embarrassed. It just, I had to convince him, yeah, jump on the group. No, I don't really want to talk about to nobody. Yeah, I just want to talk to you one on one. I'm like, hey, there's multiple people out there. And now he's joining every day, and he's loving it. So if I come on late, if I don't start it on, hey, where you at? Where you at, Ralph? And I'm like, all right, I'm coming on. Give me 2 minutes. So people are, this is helping lots and lots of people. Peer support is the way to go.
How can communities better support gun violence survivors in their recovery and advocacy efforts?
Well, I mean, these gun laws, they definitely need to help with these gun laws. Guns are too, like, I mean, we live in America, though. It's like, there's it's so easy to get access to guns, you know what I mean? But, it's like, a lot of people have anger, you know what I mean? So, for instance, like that person that shot the females, like, he just had an anger issue. He had a gun, and he just went in there and shot the girl and paralyzed her. So, it's like, I don't know what they can exactly do. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's are you gonna scare people by upping the punishment, the penalty if you use the gun, harmful on someone, or but some people may not even care. You kill someone, you know what you can get. You can get 25 years to life in prison. So it's like I don't really know what they can do, but I know on Chris Rock, he said the comedian, he said something one time, make guns, maybe like $1,000 a bullet. That's who's gonna buy all those bullets now and waste them. But I know, is this person really worth $1,000 to waste? You know what I mean? So it's like it's it's I think about it all the time. What can they exactly do? We live in America where guns are too uh, um accessible to people to get. People can get them so easily, and I mean, but they could just probably do something with the law or something, or just a lot of people just need like they need help too. They have anger issues. A lot of people just and then you have a lot of where I'm at in New York City, you have a lot of kids that think shooting is like a game. They don't understand what's coming behind shooting. These people just think when you get shot, you die or you survive. But they don't know about the third option, which is spinal cord injury, where you can be paralyzed. You can be
Hmm.
you can be and then when people think of paralyzed, oh yeah, I can paralyze, I can use my hands and push around, but they never I'm the first quadriplegic I ever met. I never knew of a quad, and I didn't know nothing of a quad until I met myself. And then he told me, oh, you're a quadriplegic. I didn't even know how to spell that. I'm like, how do you spell this? What? What? And and it's and people don't know these options. So what you do, you have to think about that when using these guns. You can either or getting or being harmed by one. You can either die, you can either survive, or you can not. Thank God you survive, or you can survive and end up in a wheelchair. And people need to just really think about that, and then wheelchair life. I mean, until you really accept it, and it's not easy. It's not all games. People don't know about the nursing home and the trying to find nursing aid services and people to come to you, and or being in the nursing home, short of staff, people not coming, the neglect, it's so much stuff that comes with just having a spinal cord or disability that you get pressure ulcers, you get all type of stuff that can harm you after the fact. You're not just in a wheelchair, now you have to worry about these other things that come with it. So it's a whole lot. So this
You said, your experience, of course, it had its there's issues and just the adjustment period overall. But you said going into an assisted living facility at 17.
Mhm.
It sounds like for the most part you've had a pretty easy job finding caregivers, or at least maintaining caregivers and receiving adequate care. Are there any systems that make that easy for you, or individuals that help you out with that?
Well, no, it wasn't easy at all. I just so I started with like nursing agencies where it was like very hard. I mean, you have a nursing, you have them come out, but then they're not really fit to take care of you, or you just guys don't just connect. And then the facility only has with so many people to send out to you, and then or people call out and they leave you stranded. I live by myself, so I don't have like no one that lives with me. So if you leave me and now I have to find someone to come take care of me or be with me. I'm also on a ventilator too. So I'm on basically like life support where I can't be left alone. So it's like that. So every like little agency I was with, I would like if I would switch, I would take someone from there and bring them with me. And then I really kind of found like a good four that I have. They like two of them been with me for geez, like 6 years. And the other two been with me about 2.5, 3 years. So it wasn't easy though because some agencies they don't have. I know people that don't have. It's very hard to find. Especially someone that connects with you. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But I thank God that I found in a good four that I have, and they rotate around each other. Like you said in the beginning, it's like doing Craigslist and Facebook groups and all that. I just I know of them, but I was like very skeptical and like to trust any stranger to come to my house. Like, oh yeah, I'm a nurse. Like, you sure really? You know what I mean? And then you can be I don't know who you can be. You know what I mean? So definitely have those groups out there, but I was able, like I said, living in New York, there's so many different nursing facilities. And I mean, and like so many hospitals and some people looking for work, they're looking for like a home care one-on-one case, and the money's good. So when they're getting paid good money, they don't mind leaving. If the money's good, they'll stay. But if you're working in there, anywhere, if the money's not good and you can find somewhere else better, they're not
Hmm.
gonna, so and then you have someone that's respectable. The case is not hard. So yeah, but it wasn't easy. But now these last couple years I didn't have a good team. You guys don't hear the fireworks right now, right? They're over here pop the fireworks, man. 4th of July. It's all loud and bangy.
Yeah, I think we might all have them going right now in the background.
Yeah, I have my mic muted so you guys can't hear. They're really going off.
Um, you said you like to help other people, that there was a bit of a period where you were seeking a lot of help, but you primarily have shifted over to trying to help others as much as you can. But
Yeah.
something that we really try and advocate for is just what are the best ways that not just your own audience, but our audience as well, and anybody that might see this going forward could support you. What are the best ways that people can support you in your endeavors with live streaming or just anything, peer support groups, any projects that you've got going on?
Um, nothing as yet. Nothing as yet. I mean, hopefully I come through something in the future. But just support the stream. If you whatever you can. Sub up. Follow. Not even that. So I don't really care for the sub. I just want the community, just somebody just to chat to during the game. That's about it. I mean, just support channels. Follow me and things like that, and tell a friend to tell a friend if you like what you see. Tell a friend to tell a friend. So that's all I can ask for. Just support the show, and spread the word. Just because I'm disabled or disability people, we're still out here. We're still people with disabilities still making things happen. So
Mm.
spread the awareness. Like hey, I seen the guy doing this, and he's disabled, and but don't let this disabled word be just a label on you. Don't let that define you. We are still out here kicking ass.
What do you hope people will take away from your story? I mean, you might have touched on this a little bit here and there throughout the questions, but just your story and your experiences, are there any key takeaways that you wish that people would walk away with and apply to their own lives?
Main thing, don't like what they said the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, until get to know people or things before you judge them. Don't misjudge people for what you think you may know. Like for me, from my story, people here when I was telling people I got shot, like I told you before, people like, oh, gang member, or and thinking, I'm a bad guy. When if you get to know me, I'm very cool. I'm a very nice guy, and I'm really helpful guy. As you guys see, and willing guy. So, don't judge a book by its cover. And just because you see this chair or you see that I can't move my hands, don't think that I can't make things happen. Not just me. All people with disabilities. We're all here doing it. So, just want to spread the awareness. Don't judge a book by its cover. Basically, that's what I would tell people.
What was it like? You said until about 3 years ago, for the most part, would tell people that you were in a car accident when they would ask about your injury. Was it the peer support group, or being involved in a community that allowed you to really own the narrative that you had? But furthermore, what was it like having to keep that a secret for the most part for so long?
I
Or
mean, yeah, it was kind of eating me up. Felt like kind of, I felt kind of sh- di- disappointed with myself, ashamed with myself, not being truthful and honest to others. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I didn't do this to myself. But the thing was, is that, joining these groups, there weren't like people there in those groups that were gunshot. A lot of people have spinal cord injury or some type of disability. They're born with it, or it's diving accident, or it's car accident, or not gunshot though. So when I when I would mention it, you would hear the oohs and the ahs. So it's like, so it was like, oh, I'm not saying that again. But when I started being honest, and I would notice people like people, some not everybody does the ooh and the ah, and they judge you. So, and then when they got to know who I am, you got to know the real me. They're like, oh, he's a pretty cool kid. They got to know my story. Now they're more, they have sympathy from me. Like, oh my gosh, it was like he was struck by a bullet. Innocent bystander. So it's like once I started telling my story, more doors started opening. I went to DC, spoke at the Christopher Reeve Foundation, spoke in front of. I went to Albany, spoke in front of a few 100 people, and it's just been opening doors, and I've been meeting people, and just speaking to more and more people, and then they hear my story, and I'm helping. So it's like, don't if I'm not doing no justice to myself or to other people if I'm not being honest. So when you be honest, you show your honesty, and you show the real you. It just nothing's better than that, because now people see who you are and they want to deal with you. They don't want to deal with someone they don't know.
can you explain for those who are unfamiliar what the Christopher Reeve Foundation is? We have them listed on our website, but I would love to hear that from you.
Well, the Christopher Reeve Foundation is a foundation by Christopher Reeve and Dana, or Christopher Reeve and Dana Foundation, right? I should say, because with him,
Yeah.
it's with I know what it says the wife's name. We got to give credit to both of them, right? She stuck by him, but both there's a foundation by Christopher Reeve and his wife Dana. Christopher Reeve was an actor who played Superman. Back in the day before my time, I wasn't even born. I think when he was playing Superman, but yeah, I think he got hurt in like the 80s or the 90s, and he was a quadriplegic. And that's the first thing they told him when I became, oh, do you know Christopher Reeve? He's a quad. And they're basically a foundation. They do a lot of educational stuff, and they, try to spread the awareness about spinal cord injury. And they're like nationwide. I think they're even like globally. You know what I mean? And they do a lot of educational work and groundwork, and try to help people that have spinal cord injuries, and they show awareness. And they do a lot. They're like, I think they're like one of the like forefronts and the biggest like foundations out there, because people when they're mentioned first before anything else, and Yeah, they're very helpful for people. I would suggest them when you first, get hurt. They have a lot of information that can help and steer you into kind of knowing yourself a little better until you and then they also do train you for peer support. They do a lot. They do very a lot.
Wow.
I did a panel for them April this year, and then I just did like an online Zoom one for them June 10th that just passed last month, and that was strictly about spinal cord injury due to gunshot violence.
What are some of the more rewarding moments that you've experienced as a live streamer, if you can think of any?
Well, after like a long, hard, good battle, a long, long, long battle, I just got affiliated on Twitch. I mean, I should have been affiliated a long time ago. I think Twitch was being racist at one point. What the hell is going on? Like, why won't you give me that affiliation? But I just got affiliated on Twitch, and yeah, that's been my biggest accomplishment because I was fighting hard, hard for that. So yeah, that's been like my biggest thing.
Hmm.
YouTube is next.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just got affiliated.
What was the holdup there? Was there a particular stat that they were holding you from?
Yeah, they were saying that I didn't have um um I needed like three viewers in the at the same time. I mean, like for like an average of three viewers, and I'm like, I have this average. I'm like, they are lying to me. Like I definitely had this average, but I just got that what maybe a month and a half ago.
Is there anything in particular on Twitch in the dashboards and all like the channel settings that is not accessible that you wish was more accessible?
Yeah, like a voice command or something like that, where I don't have to actually like take my time, use my mouse to go back and click on each thing just to like if I want to run an ad or if I want to clear my chat or it's but it stops me from the gaming, so I have to actually stop the game, do that. But I mean, as a disabled gamer, I think it takes more time consuming for me to do it. I see other people they have to do it too, but if there was more like if they had more mods or some actions that like are feasible for some people with disabilities, where I don't have to do so much efforting trying to click on these things in the dashboard just so I can like activate certain things like I said ads or you know or whatever the case may be. They had a action for like voice command. That would be like cool. Like so I don't have to do it. I gotta have to stop it. Hold on, chat. 1 second. Let me do this. And I don't want to do that. And people understand. They see where they understand. Oh, okay, give them a second. They understand my circumstance. So they work with me.
And the whole reason that this project, or at least the interviews started for this project, is because, like a little bit more backstory, when Roger passed away in the long-term care facility, his laptop went into police custody almost immediately. The other thing that we were concerned about is that we didn't want people to clip the VOD or download the VOD. We kept a local copy, but we instantly deleted the VOD off the channel. And so his family, all six of his siblings and his daughter, had no idea what had actually happened to him. They didn't know.
Mm.
So his family, they requested that me being the only person with the local copy transcribe the 40-minute video or the 40-minute VOD. And one of our moderators, one of our main admins for the Living in a Wheelchair channel, actually reached out to me as soon as they sent me that request. And he said, bro, we're doing this together. And we went through and we timestamped that entire video. So we started conducting these interviews because Armand, the person that helped me transcribe all of the video of Roger's death, he was a student at the University of Chicago. So he had a user experience research project, and as soon as he got that assigned to him, he said, bro, let's start interviewing people. And we had the chance to talk to just some of the coolest people, Elenial Wheeler being one of those people that were both on TikTok and Twitch and on YouTube, some people that were on Facebook as well. And what we ended up doing after interviewing all those people is taking all the insights that they provided and proposing a whole bunch of solutions like voice commands for your Twitch
Mhm.
dashboard and to not just Twitch, but TikTok and YouTube and Facebook.
Mhm.
So that's definitely something. I mean, we haven't gotten a response back from Twitch yet, but that's definitely something to keep an eye out for, at least from them. We're definitely
Mhm.
doing our part to try and make it as accessible as possible. That was kind of the goal behind it. And as soon as we started conducting these interviews, we just realized how freaking cool the people that we got to talk to were,
Yeah.
their stories, their answers. The trending term for it nowadays is called being a sick fluencer. I don't really like that name
What?
all that much.
What is that? What the heck?
Yeah, I guess that's what went trending on TikTok, but we like to call it
Okay.
being a care streamer. That's
Yeah, I like that way better. Yeah.
In what ways has your advocacy work impacted your own personal growth and like
Hmm.
your understanding of your own capabilities?
So like I said, I was 17 when I got hurt, and you know, going on 18 the following year, and it was like I lived with my mom, lived with my parents, right? And that was like independent and mature, but being now, I had to like now that I'm home now, it was like I had to like I live by myself. I had to learn how to be an adult fast. You know what I mean? I did 5 years in nursing home. You know, even though as a quad, they do everything free, but you still have some things I didn't want to, I don't want to be totally dependent on people. I need to have some independency. So like I had to learn how to like put on my big boy pants and do certain things. You know, there's no more asking mommy and daddy for help. So, you know,
Mm,
by me doing that and so like if I'm helping others, and then I'm learning from like their stories and what's going on there. Oh, I kind of take that in consideration. Like, okay, all right, I need to start doing this. I need to start doing that because me growing and showing people like, oh, like look at Ralph, he's doing this, and it's like, and I feel like I have to continue on and showing that, not like showing people like, oh, how do you travel? Or how do you go to a hotel? Or how do you do this? And I'm taking those risks. And I was like nervous to do like to go to a hotel. I'm like, I didn't know, or even to travel. My first time traveling, I went to North Carolina to see my brother at his wedding, and I couldn't not go to that. So I'm like, I'm going to take this risk and go. And then I'm showing people that, and now I'm like, oh, traveling, nothing. So it's like, and then when I'm showing people the pictures or I'm on like FaceTime with them, showing them how me traveling, it's like them seeing me in my growth because I was like afraid, and I was before that. Now I'm like a full grown man making moves, going around the country, and I'm inspiring others. And when I'm inspiring others, it makes me feel good. It makes me it gives me some type of strength. I don't know, like some type of like power where I'm like, I can keep going and going and going and going. And then I have to keep going so I can show people that this is not over. You can do it. You know, if I can do it, you can do it, basically. And by me having these meetings and these peer supports, and I'm showing them like when I went to New Hampshire 2 weeks ago, they see that they're like, wow, Ralph, wow, like you know, you're doing your thing, and then that makes people want to travel. I had somebody who was scared to travel. He got on an airplane and you went to Texas. So it's like I'm showing people like if I can do it, you can do it, and I'm gonna keep doing that, and it's therapeutic for me too to like, and it's not like a show off thing, but it's like me showing off like yeah I did it. Now it's your turn. You can do it. No excuses. Like that's what I'm here to do.
it's a form of world building in a way. Like people seeing you doing things, it makes people who are so in their own heads about themselves, both as able-bodied individuals, but also people with disabilities. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if Gucci can do this, then most definitely so can I.
For
Um,
sure.
you've
Build a
talked
brand.
about so many cool experiences, you know, from going to like New Hampshire to going to these conventions and being a part of all these different support groups and presenting at conferences. What do you consider to be your biggest achievement to date post injury and why?
It was the first, I would say. You know, when I went to North Carolina for my younger brother's wedding, I couldn't not go. You know what I mean? And I didn't know how I was gonna make it. That's when Google came back into effect, and I'm like, okay, because I don't own a vehicle. So that's like one, like we were talking about contributing. If I like, I need like the help to get a vehicle to get around because pay like renting van is so expensive.
Mm.
It's you have to pay for the van, the mileage. It's gas and I don't really have the funds to do that. So yeah, I definitely need a vehicle. But so I was like wheelchair, so some van rental, whatever. And I'm like looking up Enterprise and all these others, and I'm like, they don't carry these things. And then I found a company that strictly does for wheelchair accessible vans. So I got that, and then I'm like, okay, hotel. All right, now I gotta get me a hotel. I never been in a hotel since I've been hurt. So that was a whole trick on my own because I'm not thinking like right now, and I use a Hoyer to get in and out of the bed. So the Hoyer goes under the bed, you know, in the hotel, the Hoyer's not going to the bed. I'm not thinking of I've been like this for years now. I'm thinking all beds are the same. I forgot that there's it's not like that. So when I get to the hotel, I even had to rent a Hoyer. I'm like, oh shit, I need a Hoyer. I didn't know I could break down my Hoyer that I have in my house. So I had to rent a Hoyer. That even was extra money. I bought the Hoyer. The Hoyer barely lifted me up to get in the bed. That was another thing. I wind up collapsing on the bed. Oh, it was like a disaster. But I wasn't gonna let that stop me. I had to get to my brother. And then we're getting there the day of. Now I know I have to definitely give myself ample time. I can't go and rush things thinking I can just. I have to give myself a lot of time because of what has to be done for me. So anyway, I got to the wedding and I took my brother down the aisle. I cried a little bit, teared up. The baby, it was like because and it was like the greatest achievement. And I was like, and I tell her like I went that 8 hours away from where I live, and I achieved that. So definitely going to North Carolina from New York to North Carolina definitely was the biggest achievement that I could say.
Wow. With a few pitfalls here and there, does the success of that trip give you any ideas for large trips that you want to take in the future, or even smaller trips? I know you said you're going to the Yankees game in a little bit.
Yeah. Yankees is that's not too far from me. That's only about 30 minutes away. But like when I'm going on like far away trips, now I know what to do and what not to do and what to bring and stuff like that. But my next goal is to go like on a cruise. I want to go on a cruise. I've done my research on that. I had actually got like a travel agent license. I've done that. Like so I kind of know like a little ins and outs of what to do and what not to do. So that's probably gonna be my next thing to go on a cruise. And then my biggest thing is to get on a plane. I haven't been on a plane. I just drove all these places, so I want to
Yeah,
go on a plane because I've never left the country before. So I want to leave the country or I've never even been on the West Coast. So I'd like to go to California or something like that just to do that. So those are like the goals I have in mind.
that's awesome. If you were to go to California, would you end up taking your full team of caregivers with you, or would it just be as many that were willing to go, or how would that
Yeah,
work?
Mitch is Mitch is willing to go. Not all of them are willing to go. Travel. So I have my one like that's with me now. She takes me everywhere I need to go. She works at another job too, so I have to coordinate with her. And I'm like, hey, you're available this day? You want to go? And she's like, yeah. And so she brings her son, and her daughter's comfortable. And if I want to bring like a parent or sibling or whatever the case may be, but like I don't really need like a whole team, you know what I mean? But so she's cool with this doing it by herself and having her son or daughter, and I don't mind them helping me as well, you know what I mean? So yeah, but if the other nurses are willing to come, I definitely will bring them. But it's basically it's basically like whoever I have for right now, like whoever's willing to come can come. But yeah, I definitely that's definitely my goal. I'm not gonna let no one stop me. The one that takes me everywhere, she's not. She's willing to take trips all the time. So she goes on trips all the time. So for me to go on a cruise, she's like, yeah, let's go on this cruise. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. So look, I'll definitely give you the updates and the pictures for that when I do it. I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna be. There's no if. I'm definitely gonna do it. I don't know about the plane business yet. The plane is a little bit too much, but I think I'll do the plane one of these days. Requires a lot to get on the airplane.
Man, is it getting crazy out there?
Still going on for you?
Yeah. We're down. Well, at least I'm down in the south. So
Oh
these
yeah,
people
yeah.
they party till
That's one
midnight.
thing about yeah. Well, New
Yeah,
York,
right.
we don't have it as much. Probably upstate New York, like going upstate to like the rural areas, but like you go down south anywhere. I just going to when I went to New Hampshire the other day, it's like 1,000 fireworks, fireworks. Why you going up the road? Fireworks. Come get your fireworks. Come get this. I'm like, sheesh. And I'm like, I want to stop and get some so bad. But I really can't take the banging from the fireworks like too much. I mean, it's got better, but like ever since I got shot, the impact of it is just it's like, ooh, it's like a little
Mhm.
PTSD from it. So I try, stay away from it. And unfortunately, I live right where they do it, the big fireworks, so it's like, sheesh, I have to hear it. And then I live when they're over there. They're gonna be popping them all night, all weeks, like the people that buy their local ones. So it's like, I gotta deal with it.
You mentioned mindfulness exercises, meditation, breathing exercises.
Hmm.
You said you're on a ventilator as well,
Yes,
right? Could
yes, I
you
am.
I just recently, one of our moderators just
Hmm.
recently was asking if we were recommending mindfulness and meditation exercises in our interviews that we were doing. And for you to bring it up, it just that's incredible. That's
Hmm.
it's the laws of attraction or something. But I would love if you could just walk us. I mean, you don't have to walk us through an actual exercise, but if you could explain that a little bit more or elaborate on that just a little bit more.
The ventilator, I've been on this since day one. I never came off it. I hope I come off. I've been doing a lot of breathing exercises, like through the ventilator itself. But like I took I took like I did this like this study, and it was basically about because having a spinal cord injury, being in a wheelchair, and it caused a lot of pain in like the shoulders and the back of the neck, especially if you're not getting the range of motion and the movement that you should be getting. So a lot of stiffness. So I did the study about pain, and it was about how doing breathing exercises and stuff like that will can like, take the pain away. It's basically all in the mental, in the mind. So I was doing that, and so I started meditating, and they taught me how to meditate. They taught me how to take myself into a calm place, think about being somewhere nice, like the ocean, by the beach, hearing the seashells, hearing the water hit against the shore, things like that, or being, in the open land under trees, feeling the breeze, things like that. And I actually have like I said earlier, I have the PlayStation VR. So in the VR, they have like this one, I think it's called Play Memories or something like that. And you actually see yourself at the beach and you look down, and yeah, I put that on and I just like zone out, and
Oh.
I just hear the water, and that helps me a lot. Takes the pain away. It relaxes my mind. It distracts me from the outside world. When I'm ready to come back, my body's at peace, and it's calm. Like sometimes being on the event, my chest gets a little tight. I feel like I'm having trouble breathing. I kind of like don't panic, and I relax. I breathe and in through my nose as much as I can. It's kind of hard to vent, and I just relax and tell myself like you're fine, you're okay, and it works. Meditation is very helpful. People doubt it, but it's very helpful.
Mhm.
Know how to do it right, it can help you very, very well.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Meditation is amazing.
Well, I think we are just about out of questions. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our collective audiences, personal anecdotes or advice, or just any messages that you might have for people that are watching this in the future?
Um, yeah, basically, I'm here. You guys know my name. My name is, Ralph Norman, but the friends call me Gucci Mula. And, I stream and support the streams, as much as you can. Tell a friend to tell a friend, what I mean? And any other person you see with disabilities that's out there, out there streaming, support their stream. You just got to support mine. There's a whole community of us out there, and like I said earlier, don't judge a book by its cover. We're out here doing things, and just try to be, kind to one another, By doing that, we can make this world a better place.
Thank you all for taking the time to learn about Gucci Moolah, and a major shout out to Ralph for sharing his perspective and his life stories with us. Please make sure to check out his channels in the video description. Try to stop by his stream and say hello if you catch him live. He typically streams just about every day, either in the morning or the afternoon. We are so blessed to speak with such incredible heroes of our time. If you have a medical story that you would like to share or know someone with a medical story that needs to be told, please reach out to us on social media or through our website and we'll be happy to have you on. We hope to see you next time.